This is Geno Reynolds from The Real Opinion here at Days of the Dead, and I'm here with a guy I've been following for a long time, Mr. Keith David. Now, Keith, one thing I've always wanted to ask you, I'm a big fan of your voiceover work. Do you prefer voiceover work over live acting or vice versa?
I prefer work. Work is the operative word here. So.
That's a good answer, as long as you're working, right?
I mean, in either circumstance, I try to have as much fun as I can. I mean, it's called a play. So that's what we come here to do, to have a good time.
Now, you've done lots of roles. You've been doing this for a long time. Do you have a favorite that you've done?
I have a few favorites. Goliath, Spawn, Max, The Games, Dr. Facilier. I mean, I have a lot of, favorites in that respect.
Now, when you did They Lived, is there any good stories you want to tell from They Live, especially maybe about the fight scene? Because we've heard lots of stories about the fight scene.
Well, we rehearsed for 2 weeks, and just as I was telling Entertainment Tonight that we'd never hit each other and no one's ever got hurt, the very first move of the fight is when I punch him. He comes toward me and I punch him in the face. The one time I get too close is on the camera with E.T. But he was really good.
Now, the dreaded word remake always comes around, especially for movies that have been out, and of course, the 25th anniversary of They Live. If they were to come out with a remake of They Live, what would you think of that?
Depends on how it was done. I mean, it has been bantied around already, with some indication that I might be in it. We'll see.
That's pretty cool. I would say as long as you guys were involved, I think it would be okay. I always think the remakes should always have involvement from the original stars, at least in some
way.
Yeah, right.
It would be
Because
nice.
if they forget about you, it's wrong, right?
You know.
Now, are you surprised with They Live becoming the cult classic that it became?
Absolutely. I knew it had, sort of Orwellian overtones and the significance to the way things are today. Subliminal advertising and psychological warfare. And how it's, they are now able to use, subliminal messaging to say a lot of things. And I think that, so that message of that duality is more today than it was then. So I think it has more significance today.
Now, one of my favorite shows of yours is HBO's Spawn. And Todd McFarlane for years has been kicking around with the idea of it coming back. Has there been any news of that? And I think I already know the answer to this. If so, are you down with playing Simmons again?
I'd walk a few miles to get a chance to play Al Simmons again.
I think that was one of your best, especially voiceover roles. So, and I miss it, and it left way too early.
It was absolutely one of my favorite things to do.
Now I want to switch gears to Cloud Atlas. Now, what was your opinion on the final product of that movie?
I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic journey. I thought it was a fantastic piece of filmmaking. I think it's a wonderful adaptation of a great book that got turned into a movie without mimicking the book word for. There's very good reason after reading the book to see the movie. And the message of the movie, that we are all connected, karmically, spiritually. That this humanity is in fact a family.
Now, in that movie you played, I believe it was 4 roles. Mm-hmm. How was that experience doing 4 different makeups and 4 different characters like that, and which one was your favorite?
I think my favorite was Ancorapis. Because I've always been fascinated with that region of the world, and the storyline was great. But I think that would have been my biggest leap. So that was fun, trying to channel that.
Now, how was that doing 4 different kinds of
Well,
roles?
I never had to do more than one on a given day, so it was work. It was work, but it was fun. That was one of those. It was one of those movies that reassured the experience of why I wanted to be an actor in the first place.
Any new projects coming up that you'd like to reveal to us?
I'm working on my CD. I'm still continuing working on my CD and my club act. So keep an eye on that. I'll start in January. I'll start on KeithDavid.com. You can find my schedule where I'll be appearing around the country.
How do you like doing festivals like this?
Oh, I love it. You meet the fans. Who are very appreciative, and that's a wonderful thing. When this is part of what we're here for. But when people just know how to come up and say hello and thank you, and that's a nice thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Keith David, thank you very much for your time. Like I said, I'm a big fan of your career, and I appreciate it very much for your time. This has been Geno Reynolds from The Real Opinion here at Days of the Dead with Keith David. Until next time.
All right. Keep an eye out for Geno.